through, and they'll be in the back seats. And the smoke won't come to the front. The smoke, it was awful. These chain smokers.
Oh, God.
And
Yeah,
then,
that gets the bus all full of stuff. Yeah.
And when we got to Las Vegas, Danny told the man, I'm not going with you back home. I'm going by Greyhound home. So we stayed there at a hotel. What was the name of it? The Hilton. And the rooms were not nice at all.
No kidding, at the Hilton? No kidding.
So we stayed there that night, which if Danny wasn't so fast in his temper, we could have he could have gotten us a room without paying for it. It cost $72.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, we stayed there that night and we played at the casino, and then we went to, the next day we went to Las Vegas. And we went to the Four Queens Hotel. Beautiful rooms.
Oh.
Half of what we paid in the at the Hilton.
Oh my goodness. Boy, that surprises me about the Hilton though. I always thought they had nice rooms.
Well, it's going.
Well, okay. I mean, give us a minute. So, now
you see,
I shouldn't have said anything. We were talking fine.
Well, I can see you were making faces.
What faces are that?
But that's natural. That's a natural thing to do.
So anyway.
No, if I post for a picture, that face is going to be awful.
So talk about when you were a little girl.
Oh, you tell your father to come.
Yeah. I think the two of them should sit here, and then we can ask them questions from back there.
And then it'll be Dad's turn later.
But why not the two of them together?
This is Mother's turn first. And I'll dominate the conversation.
Oh, okay. So anyway.
Well, put the brandy in.
You want some wine?
Yeah,
Yeah, you should have.
give her a little wine with ginger ale.
So anyway, where are you going for New Year's Eve?
I don't know. We hardly ever go out on New Year's Eve. I don't think we've gone out on New Year's Eve for a bunch of years. What's the last thing we did? I think William had a party once, and that was it. I don't like going out on New Year's Eve. It's too many people, and everything's real expensive, and everybody's all drunk and everything. It doesn't appeal to me to.
Well, at least you found that out now. We found that out already old.
You keep trying every year?
That we shouldn't be out. Because the last time we went to a party in Canoga Park, around Canoga Park, and Danny went to a street that it was the wrong street. And it was so dark around there.
Oh, God.
And then turned, in a small street to turn back, And there were so many cars coming, and it was so dark that we nearly had an accident.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, how scary.
So I said, Danny, let's go back home.
Yeah.
So we got out of there, we went home.
Oh, God, that's awful.
And little by little, you learn that you shouldn't, at our age.
Yeah. Oh, at any age. I don't know. I don't think it's worth going out on New Year's.
Oye, qué mal échate.
Ginger ale.
Oh, bueno, porque un vaso tan grande. Gracias.
So what will you do in New York for New Year's? That might be more fun because you could just walk to some place for
in
New
New
Year.
York? No, you can't. Not in New York.
Not in New Year's?
For New Year's. Oh.
Crazy? Too many people?
Yeah. And then they're all drunk, and then, you know, when I was young, and Danny, we used to walk around at any time of night.
In New York?
New York was nice,
Really?
but not now.
Yeah.
Now with all those drug addicts and
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that must have been some great shows in the nightclubs and stuff in New York to go to. Yeah, that must have been fun. So, Amelia, was there something, or were you telling me that you used to go to the clubs alone? Would you?
Alone? Oh yeah, that was before I was married.
Yeah?
Oh,
Because I've done that. That's fun.
It happened that it was all people that we knew. A bunch of people that we knew. So we didn't wait for the crowd. We just went and met them.
And meet them over there.
Yeah. So I used to go by myself. Used to have a great time dancing with everybody.
Yeah. Oh, so was it Latin music or?
Latin.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like fun.
And I belonged to one of the clubs, you know, remember one of the clubs. But you know, what I didn't like about that club was that they were always calling my attention.
In what way? What do you mean?
Because of the way I danced. But I wasn't dancing any dirty dancing, and that's the way I danced.
But what do you mean call your attention? ¿Regañándote?
Sí, que así no se ve así. I wasn't dancing. I danced before the same way I could dance now.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder, for what? Like what in particular that you were dancing too close?
They're shaking around.
Oh, shaking your booty or something. Oh, that's funny.
And they never call nobody else attention but me.
That is funny. I bet you would get mad.
No.
You're embarrassed.
I didn't get mad. I used to tell her, I said, well, what am I doing? Ask, what am I doing?
Yeah. So they would have like chaperones at the dances, or the owners of the clubs would come around?
Yeah.
Oh, how funny.
The old ladies, the old ones, you know, because they couldn't shake it, you know. So.
They get mad. So these were like regular nightclubs, or were they like private clubs?
No, was a private.
Like a dance hall type private club? Not dance hall, but I mean, yeah, like a private ballroom or something?
They used to have their meetings and everything.
Yeah.
It was a nice crowd, you know, nice hall. And I used to go to the Savoy. I don't know if you've heard.
I've heard of it. I've never been
to the Savoy.
Was it pretty inside?
Yeah.
Yeah? They had like how would they have it? Like 2 floors or something? Or the Savoy? I don't know. I mean, what did it look like? Why was it pretty?
It was mostly colored because that's a colored neighborhood.
Oh.
They dressed beautiful.
No kidding.
Long dresses and.
Oh, how pretty.
And it was beautiful. And so, you know, they have, in those dance halls, they have a light that goes around with different colors.
Oh, how pretty.
And then if they see somebody, that's why I used to think, well, why do they call my attention in the club? And nobody caught my attention here. Because they put a spotlight to you. They see that you're doing anything.
Oh, not right. Oh, how funny. Yeah. That's great.
They never did that to me.
Oh, my goodness.
But that was American music. You know, that wasn't
So what was that, like Duke Ellington type stuff? Or?
Well, tell you the truth, now I don't know the name. I didn't bother with the name of who was playing.
Yeah.
So really,
what's that, like in the 40s? In the 1930s?
No. I got married in 35.
In 1935, my goodness.
That was way before, like in the 30s maybe. Yeah. I used to work in the hospital and live in the hospital. And do you know that I used to go home by myself 3 o'clock in the morning because it was in 135th Street in New York. And I lived in Brooklyn in the hospital. And I used to walk by myself to the hospital. Nobody
How
ever
fun.
bothered me.
That's great.
Now you can't do that.
Now you can't. I know. I didn't feel safe in that. I wouldn't want to do that in New York now.
But the colored people that went there, they were like high class people.
Elegant. Yeah. Interesting.
And that neighborhood, it was high class, you know. Wasn't all dirty. It was very nice.
Very nice. Huh. Yeah, I know that the Savoy. What's the other one? The Savoy and
The Cotton Club.
the Cotton Club. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
another one? Yeah. Were they expensive to go to though? No, they didn't charge. you?
Ladies didn't pay.
Oh. So would they have that thing with that you had like a card, and then you would write down the people who you were going to dance with?
No.
They used to do that in Cuba, my mother says.
Yeah.
You had like a card, and then you would write
yeah.
down, yeah.
No, they didn't have that.
In the
I
Palladium.
used to know how to dance. Not the jitterbug or things like that, but I used to know how to dance the blues. 'Cause they dance a lot of blues.
No, how pretty.
But now I don't because I didn't keep it up.
Yeah.
Like in ballroom dancing, you know, that you dance different.
Yeah, the foxtrot and all that.
I used to dance like
How
that.
pretty.
But then after that, I got married. I started having children. I didn't practice dancing. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to keep practicing that or you forget. I remember one time I went to an elderly center for one Christmas to help serve food or something, and this old Salvadorian guy wanted me to jitterbug with him. But that jitterbug's not that easy to do. It's got like a little jump to it or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that I couldn't catch. He's going, you
Well, I
can't do
know.
it. I can't do it.
To dance with, because when these dances they started, I already had the kids, you know, and I stay home with them. Because I never went. When they were small, I went out once in the night with Danny's. I used to go to their godmother's house, you know. They a block away from the house, you know. They used to have a party for New Year's, and that
That would be
used to
fun.
go.
Yeah,
But other places we didn't go
yeah.
because you know you couldn't go with the children.
With the kids and everything.
So I stayed home most of the time when the kids were small. I didn't like babysitters.
Yeah, you hear so many weird things with the babies and
That's why I don't see how Frances was scared of everything and they didn't to take a bus or a train by herself.
I know, and she lived in New York. I'm sure she used to go out all the time when she was young and stuff. Did she, or was she always
No,
muy protegida? She was always scared.
there was nobody to go out with her. And then her father was in the barber shop. He used to come home late. And
She said she had a lot of friends in New York.
she had friends, but I wasn't going to let her out.
Yeah, no, hanging out. Yeah, 24. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I remember that, I don't know which one it was, I had a big stomach. And Frances went out early to her friend's house that lived like a block and a half away. And it started raining, and then it started thundering and windy, and Frances was, there I was getting ready to go, but I most probably have an accident. But then when I got to the corner, Frances was coming, you know, so I didn't used to let her. No.
I think it's just probably temperament. You know, that she just doesn't like to. Because Lelo's the same way.
Frances had friends, and she had a boyfriend, and now I mentioned that the other day that this friend that lived right in the building where we lived. He used to go upstairs sometimes and visit us. He was a boy, like maybe 12 years old, and sit and talk, you know, with us. Good boy, he had no place to go. So the other day I said, Francis, you know, who was asking for you? When we went to New York, Angela, oh my, I could have married Angela. She felt so sorry she didn't marry Angela. Maybe she could have been better off.
I don't know. She really loves Aurelio, I think. Well, now who knows, but I mean, back then, I think she was swept off her feet with him.
Well, if we stayed in New York, those kids would have been so bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it would have been worth it.
No.
I mean, no matter how much you, just, you know, I mean, when there's so many drugs around and stuff, it's hard to fight that, you know? I mean,
Like I was telling you the other day, I didn't finish. When we went back to New York to stay, we didn't stay because on account of Danny, the only job he found was shoveling snow. There, we lived in the top floor, remember? On the top floor. And there was another floor to go up to another stairs to go up to the roof. That takes you to the roof. And right there on those steps, right next to our door, those guys used to sit there with that needle.
oh, God. That's
That
horrible.
was horrible. Did you ever see them?
You never saw them? Oh, thank God. How old were you? You were little, huh? 10?
So,
Oh,
and you know, that was
That's
the
depressing.
first time I ever saw that.
oh my goodness.
Because before, when they were more little, you know, I never knew that the people.
We're doing drugs and stuff. You
Yeah.
never even knew. Yeah.
So there they were sitting there, and that was so, you know, I found that so strange, you know. But the next day I went downstairs, and this was this man that lives in the building. I says, you know that yesterday? She says, shh.
Like they don't want to talk about it?
No, I shouldn't talk about it because I'd probably get in trouble. Maybe they, the ones that was doing that, might kill me or beat me up, you know. So he went, shh.
Oh my God, how weird. Because I never understood why it is that the people that live in the building never called the police to get those bums out of there, you know?
Sure.
I never
And when
understood.
I saw them, I thought, well, the others must know.
Yeah.
Because there was 4 apartments on each floor. And if I saw them, the other people.
Yeah, sure, I'm
See
sure,
them?
I'm sure. They probably lived in the building is the problem, those guys.
Probably.
But still, why don't they do it in their apartment, you know, if they're going to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always found it strange that people wouldn't call the police and get rid of those guys. They get scared, I guess.
But you know, a lot of those, they were like, let's say maybe 17, 18. And when Danny had the barbershop, before we went to live in California, most of those kids, Danny used to give them the haircuts when they were little.
Oh
He knew them
my
when they were
goodness, how
little.
sad.
And most of them died
Oh my
of
goodness.
those drugs.
Oh, how horrible. So then they never bothered Danny in the drugstore? Well, no, then
no.
when Danny had the barbershop, there weren't a lot of drugs.
When we went back that I saw that in the hall, then that's when it was real bad. But before we went, that Danny had the barbershop, it wasn't so bad. But they had started already, but those kids that were there, those were the same ones that Danny used to give a haircut when they were little. But no, Danny had no trouble in the barbershop. But it's funny that once, we used to live in downtown 17th Street, and the barbershop was on 110th Street.
Oh, so it was out of the neighborhood.
And once I think we didn't have a telephone then. Somebody came and knocked at the door and told Danny, I don't know if it was Salito because, you know, it was late in the night after he was in bed. and said, no, I remember now. Salito called Emilio, you know, your godfather, Emilio up, that lived, you know, on the next block on 18th Street. And then Emilio came over and told Danny, you better go to the barber shop, Salito said, because somebody stole your things in the barber shop.
Oh.
Danny had most of his clothes in the barber shop.
Oh.
Because Danny used to get dressed and Saturdays and go out with his friends. And so this cop went in there, went in the barbershop, through the back window, and stole Danny's clothes and other things.
Oh my goodness.
And then I think it was the next day, he brought them back. You know why? So Danny could give him money. He couldn't do anything with the clothes, you know.
Oh my.
Danny didn't give him anything.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've heard that the police are really corrupt in New York. Yeah.
Sure. You know that once, this is a story that they say is true. It was told to me that these people lived in this street, and across the way was a liquor store. And these policemen was in there stealing every liquor that was
Oh my God.
a bunch of them. And
Oh my goodness.
stealing
That's
all the
awful.
liquor from that store.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, I think they've been famous for that since New York was founded. Yeah, that the police were always terrible. They're still probably mostly Irish.
Well, but the police don't do anything.
Yeah, that's why I guess the people don't call the police for the drug people.
And if they're Puerto Rican,
Less, they don't care.
let them kill themselves.
Oh,
That's what they say.
oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's really bad.
Bueno, ya hablamos.
Yeah.
So
Who?
I went across the street to somebody's house when I was real little.
Uh-huh. What happened?
Who was that?
That you went across the street to somebody's house? At the project? Yeah, that was this family I knew that Francis, the boy, was Francis' boyfriend. And you was looking for you, and there you was visiting.
And why were you visiting there? Was he little?
Yeah, about, how old was you?
Oh, 2 years old. We fue a hacer la visita.
All my children used to go visiting. Frankie, when we came to California and we went to live in the Culver City, in those projects, Culver City, I was looking for Frankie, and Frankie wasn't home. I looked out across the way, there was Frankie sitting in the ladies' stove.
Having a great conversation.
So I went over and got him out of there. He was off. So one day he didn't dirty the ladies' stove.
How funny. How cute.
And he was about 2 years old.
Oh, funny. That is cute. So what was the thing that Emilio says that when he was little you used to tell him not to eat in casa de Jena? He never knew who Jena was.
I used to tell him, look, you go to people's houses, they offer you to eat, say, thank you, but I ate them. Even if you're hungry. So Doña Cuba moved next door to us, you know. And he went over there, right away Doña Cuba was going to give him some, mi mamá me dijo que no coma.
En casa de Jena.
A casa ajena. Cuba told me.
Oh, that is so funny. So Doña Cuba told you? That's funny. Well, I'm going to go make myself a little sandwich because I'm getting hungry.
is this like that and this way and that way where I was born? No. You know, I remember things, but it wasn't really the right thing. So,
How old were you when you came over?
I was 3 years old,
3
which
years
I could
old.
remember, you know, but
A few things, yeah.
I
So tiny.
what I remember, like at my cousin, I used to play with some little girls in the backyard, and I asked my cousin if that was her, you know, the one who lives in town, but she said no. I don't think it was me. We never lived there.
No.
To live in Puerto Rico, for me, I could move in the middle of any state. I don't know nobody.
Yeah, yeah. But you ran into some people you knew.
Well, yes, scattered.
Mm-hmm.
And still and all, that were known by me, because we all went to school together.
Mm-hmm.
But we were not friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like those guys that we met there in the plaza.
Mm-hmm.
They're all nice people, but still I have nothing in common with them.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to me, going places.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find anybody
Hang out.
to stand up and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyhow,
We went to visit this lady that he knows from New York even, huh? Tinda's sister?
In Puerto Rico you went to visit her?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. In Ponce?
Yeah. That was Tinda's sister, wasn't it, Danny?
yeah.
She does.
So a lot of people that lived in New York went back to Puerto Rico, is that?
Oh, yeah.
From your group?
All those people, at least 95% of the people around there that I know, they have been in the States. Oh,
Mm.
some of them for a few years, some of them for long many years.
And are they happy they're back in Puerto Rico?
Oh,
Yeah.
as soon as they wanted to go back and they're happy.
Yeah.
In fact, she's living in the same house where I met her.
Oh my
She was a young
goodness.
girl.
Oh my goodness.
And they're happy like that, but look, it's such an old place.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't live in a modern place?
No.
Uh-huh. Oh well, I'd have to live in a house like this. If I went to Puerto Rico, I'd have to live in a house like this. I don't think I could live in,
Me too.
you know, or maybe not like this, but a nice apartment, you know what I mean? Something new.
There's houses in Puerto Rico, and they're still livable, but they are older than I am. Same house that I found there when I was born.
You know, the barber shop where
People living in there.
the barber shop where he learned to barber is still there.
No
And
kidding.
they're still working and a lot of
Oh my
work.
goodness.
Yeah. There must be another owner, of course. Maybe the owner's family.
Sure, I'm sure they passed it
Yeah.
on. Yeah. Well, those old houses are actually pretty, you know, like the one where that girl that looked like a boy. Was her, not Nancy's, the one that was a car mechanic, that the girl was Juanita's friend or Juanita's cousin.
Oh, but the one I thought it was a boy.
Right. But that house was, Letty's house was pretty. I mean, it needed to be fixed up.
You went in?
Oh yeah, we visited.
yeah.
No, we met that girl and everything.
I met her from the first time we went there. I met her, not the girl boy.
The girl boy.
Met her. This is the first time I saw that girl. And she's nice.
No, yeah, they're very nice.
And the other girls are nice too.
Yeah.
The ones that you haven't met, the teacher.
Yeah, Letty.
No, the other one. Letty is the.
Letty's
I
a
think
teacher.
she teaches
Yeah,
too.
uh-huh.
But this other ones that don't live around
Oh.
Juanita works for them.
Oh, I see.
She stays with their mother, you know, the lady's mother,
Ah.
because the lady's mother was sick.
No.
And because she's in a wheelchair. So Juanita goes over there and stays until 3.
Oh.
And the daughter comes from the school. And and then they usually drive her home. And they're very nice.
Well, I found that that Juanita está muy acompañada. You know what I mean? She has a lot of friends in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I thought that was so nice. I said, I'd like to live in a situation like that where everybody says hello to everybody.
Oh, Juanita goes all over the place.
Yeah.
The next spot. Hi, come on.
I know, and
Oh,
she's so
my.
calladita and everything, and look at she's got 1 million. I think that's so, I was really impressed by that. I thought, boy, if she ever came to the United States, she'd be so lonely, you know? I thought that was
She
really,
couldn't live with people that have been there for so many years, you know, they can't move.
it's another way of life. It's a whole other way of life.
But these people, you know, her cousins, they are very nice people, and they care about her. And there was a hurricane coming, you know, right away they came over and took her home.
Oh, how nice.
And then that was when Don, what's his name? What was his name? The old man? She was taking care of him,
Oh,
and they took him too.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that whole thing is so nice.
You know, many people, I went by them and I don't know who they were.
Yeah.
But one of them, he knew me. He's a very old man. He used to be a good musician, a classical musician. I used to play at the big balls and with the symphony orchestra for concert. And he told me who he was. He was, what's his name? Chino's brother.
Oh, you saw him?
Chino was one of my barbers in the barber shop.
Oh my goodness.
I knew him by hello, that's all, over there. But then we were very close because he worked for me. And he was a good guy.
Oh my goodness.
So every time I went, I met him. And his brother, who should be older than I am, much older, he knew me.
My goodness.
I didn't ask him anything. I just answered what he asked me and so on. And I started to move around in my mind, what the hell is he? And then he told me.
Oh.
He told me about Chino, you know, we call him Chino, Chinaman. But his name is Druid, that's the last name, Druid.
Druid.
Louis Druid. And there are about 7 of them. And they all, father and mother, they, maybe about 4 or 5 of them left over. But you see, that's the few that knew me. I don't know how he knew me, because he saw me in New York. He saw me in New York and I was working in the barber shop where his brother used to work, which was my own shop.
Yeah.
That's how he remembered.
Oh my goodness.
But he was a high-class man. I couldn't fool around with him. He was a very good musician. Talking about the best musician.
Wow. Wow.
Not guitar and start drinking and having fun.
Yeah.
He was a very
A
good
professional, yeah.
professional man.
Oh my goodness.
And it's true, all of them are very clean people. Yeah. They are dark, they're not black. But I know they had an aunt that was a teacher, but she was completely light. That was on her mother. And his father, anyhow, maybe he was not colored, but he used to be a house contractor. He used to make houses.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And he was out in the sun most of the time.
It was black from the sun.
That can happen.
And all of them happened to be, you know, with a little more than we have. But they know that. They're all nice people. All of them. People that I could bring to my house and give them the key.
How nice.
Yeah.
How nice. No,
Outside of that, I don't know nobody else. And I've been to the place where my mama had the house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. 'Cause my
Oh, that must be all different now, huh?
yeah, it's not even there.
Yeah.
No, that house was
Gone.
taken up.
Yeah.
It was a corner. One street here and the main street over here, and we were right in that corner. And everybody knew. Doña Pancha, that was my mother's name. Her name was Pancha, we called by Doña Pancha. And then my brother, the crippled one, the whole Ponce used to know him
Oh, my goodness.
about that time. Because he was very popular because he used to talk loud. And he used to laugh, for mostly anything. And he was, people used to like to talk to him. One night, for being the way he was, he went to see a guy that died in the mortuary. And then being that he used to drink beer, and he had to go to the bathroom while they were watching for the dead. And being that he was crippled, he couldn't run. And then by that time he was already old in years. And he used to go easy with a cane. So he went to the bathroom, was in the back, and he took all his good old time. And when he came back, they had locked the
Oh, no.
He went to the front of he was calling the people that passed by. But some of them knew him, they couldn't know everybody. But especially at dark, there was no light in there.
He must have...
And he's walking.
They thought he was a ghost or something.
Finally, the guy that used to take care of the place, he went to have a bite to eat, to lock up and go to sleep, because he used to sleep there. He was the one who put him up.
Oh, that's funny.
Then he told that to everybody, but he made a joke out of it.
That is
Then
funny.
he laughed.
Como vos. That's funny.
Yeah, that was very funny. And he would go to the end of the city. He was the one that died, he said. I don't know why. He used to go after the dead people.
He was fascinated by
Everyone
it.
that died, he'll be there. That's like Juanita.
Juanita does that?
Everybody that dies in the neighborhood. And then the next day, she's ready to go to the funeral. Like we was there. She went to this, she was going to go to the funeral, but nobody asked her to come in the car.
Oh, how funny.
And she'll be there waiting for somebody to say, "Móntese con nosotros." She came home, I said, "Boy, that was fast." She said, "No, nadie me invitó."
Oh, God, she's so crazy.
Automobiles.
Yeah.
Whenever she has the 2/4 or 3/4, she takes a cab. Otherwise,
Juanita?
Yeah.
But God, we walked with her all over town.
but if she don't find people that goes on the street that she knows, she has to walk it. And she asks them. She don't ask everybody, those that she knows.
She knows.
She just knows by sight. And they bring him home.
Because when we were there, we walked with her way over to her. I mean, way out of Ponce. We walked about like 10 miles with her out.
She walked.
And she walks. She's
But
fast. She walks like you.
If she could take a ride,
Well,
she'll take it.
yeah,
He
well.
was walking against the area where she lived. Did she go the other way?
We walked up and back, right?
Because did you remember that we took you by, they had a bunch of little red houses?
No,
No, we didn't walk to that. No.
The other way.
It was past the bridge that goes over el Parque de los Leones. Up, over a bridge past that way.
Oh,
Past the suburb where that painter lives.
yeah.
Past that.
That's
Past it, right around it.
A little bit past it because it was that lady's house. Yeah. Well, it was a long block though.
Yep. Juanita knows that very well.
Yeah, and she works just like Danny. She's very light-footed and fast. And I was even fatter than her.
She's
Tenía la lengua fu-
She's small.
tiny.
She's thin.
That's what I'm saying. I was all fat and I was like with my tongue hanging out. Ella me dejaba atrás en el polvo. I really like Juanita a lot.
You know, the painter doesn't, he lives right where he paints. That's where he insists.
I thought but she showed me that house where they live.
Yeah, he bought that house for her, but
But he stays at the studio?
Yeah.
Oh, that studio's horrible.
it's horrible.
It's like scary.
But that's where, see, upstairs,
Oh.
through the same studio, there's a stairs to go
Oh, I didn't notice
upstairs,
that.
and Yes, it's bed upstairs.
Oh.
That
why-
we feel sorry.
But why, I mean, why doesn't he go home to?
Well, I don't know. I guess
Maybe you get tired of each other.
see, he gives her anything she wants.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do they have
he
kids?
knows the way she
Yeah, the way she
is,
is.
you know.
Do they have
But he
kids?
doesn't care. Huh?
Do they have kids together? No.
I don't know. I know that he has. I saw two sons, grown-up sons, and a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
which the daughter was living with her. The sons was not living with her. So I don't know if they're, you know, from the sons that's the mother from the sons. I don't know.
Who knows?
Because I only seen her once.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The first time I went. She took us around to a lot of places.
Yeah, she did. Oh.
But
I don't know.
we don't look for her because we know that she's having another kind of living, you know, and we don't want to.
Bother. Yeah. But that whole lifestyle in Ponce reminded me of Cuba a lot. Puerto Rico reminds me of Cuba a lot. It's so similar. It really, really is. That way people are with each other and how, you know, like how they know each other and everything. And then those houses, that Letty's house, reminded me a lot of the houses in Cuba. They're nice. I like them. I wouldn't mind having an old house like that if I had the money to fix it up, you know, to put everything like new inside and to put some nice floors. Did you go into Old San Juan? You went into you saw some of those old homes that they fixed up. Oh, those were beautiful.
Yeah,
Those houses were beautiful. I remember I jumped out of the car one time, Emilio, and looked at this. It was like a museum house. It was the house of a lady that I think had been mayor of San Juan or something. She was real rich. And they made the house into a museum, and it was 3 stories high. Gosh, that house was beautiful. It was in Old San Juan. It was right there in Old San Juan.
Well, when we went the first time, that we went with the Fanito and his wife, and we went to this studio where they were showing his paintings, and most of the boys or ladies or grown up, all kinds, you know, that he taught them how to paint, they were there that day.
Oh, how nice.
And he brought us there,
How fun.
and all his paintings were there, and they were showing.
Oh, I just think that's wonderful.
And that was at Old San Juan.
Oh, that Old San Juan. I could live in Old San Juan, but I heard the rent is really expensive in Old San Juan. More than like New York. Yeah. I bet it's so beautiful. And then those apartments are real breezy. You feel that breeze going through, so you're not really that hot. Yeah.
There's a lot of windows.
Yeah.
When we went there, that we stayed with the Danish French, and he was renting a house, and it was 3 bedrooms, the living room and dining room and the porch at the front and a big porch in the back. And you know, it was only $150.
What? $150 a month? How did he find that? Was it in Old San Juan?
No,
Oh,
in Ponce.
no, in Ponce.
But that was very cheap.
150 a month? I thought Puerto Rico was supposed to be so expensive.
Well,
I guess.
and that was, I liked the house because it was so big, you know. I like big houses.
Yeah, I know.
And that was, comparing to
Wow.
California,
$150, it's like not paying rent at all. Wow, and he had just moved there? I mean, he found that recently, or?
well, I don't know how many years he was living there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many years, because he used to live in, he used to be a merchant marine, you know, boats. And then he came and he stayed in San Francisco with his sister. Then he came to Anaheim and stayed with his other sister. And then he went, but that was, so he must have been living there at least 5 years. That house.
Wow. Wrong number? Yeah. And then I loved, in Puerto Rico, remember when I went to that university and I loved that area, San Germán? I thought that was so pretty. Well, near where that friend of, is that a friend, Nancy? Is that a friend or a cousin? The one who's...
That's the daughter of Danny's cousin.
That was like Francis's friend too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they grew up
They grew up together.
They were always together.
I'll tell you, the Francis looks so much younger. Are they the same age?
The same age.
Francis looks so much better than that girl.
She looks so
Muy acabada, the lady, yeah. Nancy. Muy acabada. It's the weight, too, you know.
It's also what happened to her, you know, has gotten her down.
Yeah.
And then being that his family treated her so bad.
When that happened?
That's like suffering, you know. Yeah, because the man next door killed her.
Right.
And well, they didn't believe that it was that somebody was in the backyard, and then the man came over to help.
Oh, God.
They believed that, when he killed my son is because she had something to do with it.
Oh, God. Oh, how horrible.
So,
Qué locura. That's crazy.
and then they didn't look at her, and she couldn't go to the funeral.
Oh, my
She
God.
couldn't go to the cemetery because
sad.
they were going to beat her up.
Oh, my God. How crazy.
So,
How crazy.
that's something hard, you know.
Is that man still living next door? Is that family still?
Yeah.
They still live next door?
Married, you know.
You want to use this?
No.
Put it with the other pants that I threw away.
Well, I'm not going to use it now, but I'm not going to throw it away.
So that man still, but does she speak to that family at all?
Yeah.
She does. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
No, and everybody around there
Knew
to
that
her, they
it's her family that got all weird.
It's her family
I mean, her in-laws that got all weird.
that doesn't even live around there.
Oh.
They live by the beach here. I don't know, I forgot the name. And when we went there the first time that we went to stay with this man that passed away, we went to looking for Nancy. And we had the address of his mother, her husband's mother's house, because that's where Nancy went to live when they first moved from Brooklyn to Puerto Rico. And when we got there, we asked, for Nancy Traverso, her name. Oh, Nancy, we don't know nobody by that name. So this lady that was in the front porch of the same house, but in the front, in the porch, must be family to them, to her in-laws. told her, though, there's a Nancy that lives over that way. We went about a block away, and then we thought, well, why should we go looking for a Nancy that lives a block away? What are we going to do, go ask everybody we see? So we turned back, and then when we turned back, the lady was still on the porch, and she called us. She says, they killed him. He got killed. And then his mother came, talked to us, and then they told us where Nancy was living. And that's when we went to see
so that's how you found out about it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And the lady said, oh, he got killed, but it came into thing, and like, I didn't believe it,
Yeah.
And then she told us what happened.
Wow.
She said there was a man in the backyard, and she told her husband, Freddie, his name is Freddie, Freddie, there's a man out there. Freddie didn't go to the yard, just looked from inside. You women are always seeing things. After a while, she says, Freddie, that man is still out there. So he went to see who was out there, and she went to next door and told him what was happening, and then the man next door came and shot.
I put over.
And shot her husband instead of shooting the man that was, in the dark. Well, he should have went out and find out who was there.
Jeez.
And took the man away. They put him in jail.
Did they?
Nancy had to go to court.
Wow.
So she said, what happened?
Yeah.
And they believed him. But his parents didn't believe it.
Oh, God.
And she said she'll never marry again.
Oh.
Never.
Her son is so cute. He seems like a nice boy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really incredible.
Did you used to work in the candy factory?
Who, me? Yeah. I worked in a candy factory. I ate all the candy, and that's the first day I went. Boy, were they good.
What kind of candies were?
They had chocolate, but some of them have pineapple inside. Good candy.
I bet you got gordita.
First day I had a ball. But after that, I didn't look at them anymore.
Yeah.
It was good candy. Helen Brooks candy. And I used to put them in the boxes.
Did it come on a bell? And then you would put them in the box and then the next box would come, or?
Well, they didn't come in a belt. They had them already in the different boxes, and a long table with all kinds of different fillings. And I used to put them down with a little cup, paper cup, And then there was a girl that used to weigh them, and I used to help her when I had a lot of boxes full. I used to help her weigh them. And that's when this girl, she was tying, the paper around the boxes. They used to, after they put them in the box, weigh them, they used to put nice paper around it and a ribbon. And she said her scissors fell. And she said, will you please pick them up for me, because if I pick them up, she said, I will have an awful bad disappointment. If you pick them up, you're going to have a good surprise. So I picked the scissors up, and then for lunchtime, I left, the factory was right across the street from where I lived. So I went home, and when I went home, I found this huge box with a lot of new clothes.
Oh my God!
And that was a good surprise.
Oh my!
Because my aunt never used to send me anything. And I said, do you know, I believe that since then, scissors have fallen. I never picked them up. I have to leave them there until somebody comes to pick them up, because then I will have an awful disappointment.
Oh my God, how funny.
Those things like that happen. And then, it gets into you. Then you're afraid.
Yeah.
That you're going to have something happen to you. So, until a couple of years ago, I stopped that. Then I said, well, I better pick the scissors up. Who's going to come and pick them up for me? Nobody.
Oh, that's funny. That's a great story.
Where did those come from?
From one of her family sent it to me.
Oh.
Yeah, my aunt. She sent me, she was in Puerto Rico, and she sent me that big box
Oh,
of clothes.
nice.
But new clothes, nice, beautiful
That's
clothes.
sweet.
She was the nice aunt.
Monse?
She was the
That's
nice.
such an interesting name, Monse. Is that her real name?
Uh-huh. Monse, my mother was named Monse also.
Oh.
My aunt Monse, and the godmother of, not his godmother. His godmother is, I think it's Rosie, Monse's daughter. And Monse was Francis' godmother. So we have 3 Monses and Montserrat.
Oh, Monserrate. That's a pretty name. I like that. I like it.
And,
French, yeah.
And then, well, they call him Monse for short.
For sure. I like that. I like that name. So who called?
William,
Is he coming over?
they're going to make fruits first.
Okay. So anyway.
Monse was nice to me. She was very
Yeah, she was always.
But she had me living with her sister, and her sister was the young one of the family. And she was brought up in a convent.
Oh.
And she had me like a servant.
Terrible. You were so little.
And when I got to be about, I think I must have been about 17 years old, I left her because she slapped me.
No kidding. Why did she slap? What happened?
Slapped me because at that time Monse was in New York. She wasn't in Puerto Rico. That Puerto Rico, that when she sent me the clothes was a long time before. So Monse came and she said she got sick. Was in the hospital, and I was working. And I had to give her the envelope. You know, before they used to pay cash, you know, in that envelope, the envelope with the money. And she asked me for the money, and I said no, because Monse told me to save the money so we could get an apartment when she gets out of the hospital. So she slapped me, and she took the money.
Oh my God, que mala.
So that's when, the next day I had to go to work. I didn't go to work. And I went to this friend's house. She was old, you know. She wasn't a girl like I was. She was old. She had her house. She was married. And I stayed with her a couple of nights. And then she went and looked for a job in the Long Island College Hospital. And she came home. She says, I got you a job.
Oh.
And I went to, and they hired me, and that's
that hospital where you would. Oh
and
my.
I worked there in the gauze room I worked for 3 years in the gauze room,
Oh.
and about 2 years, I had a nice job, clean job, answering the phone, and giving the nurses the gauze when they came, you know. I knew the name of sizes and everything already. And, but I didn't like it so much because it was my fault, you know. I used to stay and help my boss, which she was supposed to give a certain amount of laundry when about 12 nurses used to come down about 7 o'clock in the night. I was supposed to be out of there at 3 o'clock. I used to stay to help her. Then I got into it, and then I stayed, you know, instead of her telling me, well, that's all right, you should go.
Yeah, she
You got to the habit,
Yeah.
and I got tired of it.
Yeah.
So I looked for a job in the kitchen. So I worked about 2 years in the kitchen.
And you would live right there in the hospital?
Yes.
Hmm.
And they give you...
But boy, that aunt of yours must have been shocked when you packed up and left.
Oh, yeah. She says, I didn't tell her where I was. I came got my clothes. And so I was living with a friend. She said nothing. She didn't care. So Martha was all the time wondering where I was and looking for me, because of course I didn't. She knew that friend, but the friend didn't live there anymore, because the friend went separated from her husband and went to work in the hospital and stayed at the hospital also. So she didn't know where that lady lived. So somebody told her, and then she came. She saw me, you know, in the hospital. But to my aunt, I went to see that aunt, that other aunt, maybe a year after, one Sunday. I'm gonna go see her. She was mopping the floor. I said, hey, you're mapeando el piso hoy domingo. Ah, ya no tiene la...
La callada.
Yeah.
And what did she say?
Ah, fue que me vino visita y se ensuciaron los niños el piso. I didn't go back anymore. Then when I had the stomach from, I think it was Danny, she came to the house. I don't know who told her where I lived, and she came and stayed there a while visiting, and then she went, she says, let me know when the baby's born. I didn't never told her. I didn't let her know. I never saw her again. Anyway.
Strange. How long did you live with her, with this aunt?
Boy, I was in and out. I used to sometimes stay with Monsa, sometimes stay with her. Mm-hmm. And it must have been maybe about 10 years.
No! Oh,
about 10 years.
Terrible.
And yeah, I had to do so much work. And
oh, how mean.
She used to use these army blankets, how they...
Yeah, those thick green ones?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the kids, she had 2 boys. They used to wet the bed. And I had to wash those
army blankets?
By hand.
By hand? Oh my God. Oh
They
man.
have to wash walls.
Oh, geez.
Do everything.
And so Monsa wouldn't have you, when you stayed with Monsa, she wouldn't be like
No, I didn't have to
She
do
was
anything
real
when I
nice.
lived with
Oh.
Monsa. So, anyway, that's...
So did you always stay in contact with Monse after you got married and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I used to go every Saturday to see her
Oh.
and bring the
kids and everything? Oh, that's good. That's
So
good.
Frances used to love.
Yeah, well, she was real sweet. Yeah. So she was your mother's sister or your mother's... Yeah, your mother's sister, right?
She was my father's
Oh, your father's.
sister, but when I was small, I never asked questions.
Mm-hmm.
Never asked questions. And I wondered, why is this and why is that, but I always was afraid to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
I used to know this because I used to hear talking, So I think she was that she wasn't Monsa's sister. I think she was. And then, like Danny and I was talking one day, but she looked so much like your uncle. So she must have been your uncle's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And the other uncle I have, which is still the one that lives in Tampa,
Oh, uh-huh.
Her father was my uncle,
I see.
my father's brother.
I see.
And they were both married, my father and my uncle were both brothers married to 2 sisters. Estelle's mother, my aunt, married my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And her sister married my father, so that's why we're first cousins. So, I have a nice story.
It's interesting.
Oh, and then Danny came from New York, from Puerto Rico to New York. And I was living upstairs, and his sister was living downstairs, and that's where he came to live. And I was climbing up a truck because we was going to Monsa. She went out of her mind.
Oh, really? Oh, dear.
She got blind
Oh.
and living all alone.
Oh, God.
There was a fire upstairs, and she was all alone. And I guess all that, living alone, she went.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they put her in
In a home? Mm-hmm.
hospital. And we was going to see her, but my uncle had a moving van. So instead of all of us going in the subway, we all used to get into the truck and come right over to the hospital.
So funny.
So Danny saw me climbing in that truck, and he says, oh, Jen, I had nice legs.
Mira lo que es
Hi,
fresco.
Danny. When you first saw me, I was climbing in a truck. When you first came from Puerto Rico to New York,
Yeah.
I lived upstairs, and Fefa lived downstairs. It was a 2-floor little house. And he went and inquired about me, his sister, you know. Then he wrote me a nice letter.
Oh, he wrote you a letter?
Yeah, and then he grabbed me in the hall and kissed me. He thinks that happens when you're in school, you know.
Fresco.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do. I do. And it was so funny, I got that letter and I read it, and then I put it down, I don't know where, hiding it. You know, I didn't want my aunt to see that letter. And then I couldn't find it.
Oh, no.
I'm crazy looking for that letter.
Oh, funny. That is funny. So the Puerto Ricans from the island were fresco.
Yeah.
The same people.
That's,
Same people with a different story.
that's funny.
Because his sister was my uncle's wife.
Fefa.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
At that time,
Small world.
Therefore, you see how small she is? She was a tall, beautiful lady.
No kidding.
She was tall and she was so good looking.
She has a big legs, shapely legs. I noticed that about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that she was real tall. She had beautiful skin.
That's what happens to some old people. I got awful short. I was a little taller too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You shrink.
God, I'm gonna be like 2 feet tall. So Fefa was the vegetarian, right? She became a vegetarian?
If I had been a vegetarian since before the war.
Isn't that something?
Since before the war.
Imagine how some people get used to eating like that, huh?
Well, they say it's that it's good
Healthy.
but if you have to balance the food just right, because since you're not eating meat, you have to get the right type of protein. Or so you have to be sure you have like beans with rice, or corn, or tortillas with rice. It has to be the bean with some kind of a bean with some kind of a bread starch carbohydrate type thing, because if not, then it starts becoming deficient in the protein. If you just eat the beans, it's not a complete protein, so you have to be real careful how you eat. But if you do it right, they say it's better than eating meat.
Well, it's been fine.
My sister eats a lot of nuts.
She eats nuts?
Yeah. Dry nuts.
Uh-huh.
She used to go to picnics some places, you know, with the other people. And she carried a bag of nuts.
Yeah,
She's like a cow.
Yeah.
But she was thin.
No,
No, she was big. She was big.
she wasn't that big, but she was
she was full.
Well shaped. Yeah.
She used to eat chicken sometimes. Make soup and eat the chicken. But she didn't eat no red meat.
That's amazing. She's ahead of her times. The other daughter's real pretty. The Cuca.
Okay.
Cuca's very pretty. Has pretty skin.
Cuca is a very nice person.
She seems like a nice person.
I have never seen her get angry.
No? Oh, that's nice.
Never. I mean, her daughter is the same. She got Nancy. What else has she got? That's all.
And Mary.
No, yeah, but she only has one daughter, you know. Mary is
Well, Mary was
adopted.
She was aunt to Mary, but they never knew that she had a mother. They thought that Cuca was her mother.
Oh.
They never told her mother, which is really bad.
No.
And she was One day she was crying because nobody, she wanted her daughter to know that she was the mother.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't tell her.
Mm. And then what's Alexis like? What's her temperament like? Is she real nice too? Or is she more hot-tempered? No?
The problem with her, she changes like the weather.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
With you, and then
Yeah.
next minute she passed by you and you're not there.
That's like my niece, Alina. One minute she's fine and the next minute she's, well, not that she passes you, but one minute she's fine and the next minute she's furious. Yeah, she has a fit and has a screaming fit, has a terrible temper, terrible temper.
That's the problem with that. But she's very good daughter.
Yeah, I guess so. She's been doing.
Stayed that old because she don't want to leave her mother alone.
The paper won't move out.
She's
I don't
tried
know.
many times.
Has she?
Getting ready. Mama, I'm going to move. And you better come with me. When she was better, even when she was better. Then she just never materialized to move.
¿Qué cosa la de Fefa? Querer quedarse ahí. That's her domain, I guess, because I guess as long as she stays there, she's in charge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Peppa turned out to be a very stingy person. Yes. Yes. In a way, she's not stingy, but she pays very little rent. in it.
Right, that's the thing too, yeah.
And she thinks about that, and she's always in the darkness. Should have burned more electricity.
Mm.
Always
You
in
go
the dark.
there and right away she tells someone to put the light on, but when she's alone, too. That's why she's blind. Besides age,
Mm-hmm.
she's blind, staying indoors without doing anything.
Yeah, that's
She
not
got
good.
an operation in her eyes too, and it didn't help her.
Yeah. What'd she get for cataracts or?
I don't know what it was. She couldn't.
Operated on her.
She couldn't see it very well. She couldn't read, and she got that operation, and now she can't read at all because she
Oh gosh.
didn't help.
So Dad, you can sit over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I mean, this thing's hurting my back.
You can sit in this.
You're so uncomfortable. Let me go to the bathroom.
You can sit over
Are you
here.
over there? Oh boy.
No, yo entiendo de más que de qué hablar, así que habla tú.
I'm going to be in pictures.
You sit down and talk. Told all my story already.
Okay. What are we going to talk about?
That's me.
Or just put this
Tienes
here.
que ponerte.
Oh, el audífono.
Esto no quiere vino. Esto tiene que ser con vino.
A mí no me han dado vino, pan sí.
Tú no quieres ningún vino. ¿No quieres?
I don't want vino, I want something else.
No, what?
Like, when are we going to eat?
When Amelia finishes there. It's only 3:25.
3:25. Okay. When my time to go to bed, I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, what time you figure on going to bed?
I don't know, maybe 7 o'clock.
We have to, no, I'm not going to go to bed at 7 o'clock. We have to wash first. Cuando Emilia termine.
Well, we have to watch.
Cuando vengamos de comer, entonces se lava.
Ay, yo debía tener mi maleta ya ready.
No.
Mi maleta debía ya estar ready para
Pero
take
tienes
off.
que lavar esas cosas.
But now I know, that's why I'm behind.
You're packing?
Yes.
We want to wash some things.
Yeah.
And I need that, you know, to put in the small spaces.
Yeah. I've got some stuff in the in the washing machine that's already washed. I'll take it out.
That's all right, we can do nothing now. She's been the movie studio. She's filming.
Hey, Dinah's an actress. She's an actress. So when you would go dancing, would Danny be at the dance places?
No,
Way
no,
before you met him? Way before you knew him?
no, the,
They didn't let her look at me, much less walk out with her.
I never used to go out no place when I was with my aunt, you know, living. And after, well, that I was living at the hospital.
One time they had a dance, you know, for money. That was my folks over there. Fefa, her husband, and the friends, you know, I don't know what the hell they needed money for, but they were charging. And it so happened that Ida went. But then they look around and they saw that there was a prostitute in there.
I had to go home. I was so mad.
I thought, oh.
And I was having a good time dancing with Danny.
And you know that they sent her home before she even warmed up. Before people were stupid, you know, what the hell? Sure.
Yeah. Because they probably didn't know her or something, right?
No.
But they knew you, Ida, right? Fefa?
Well, Fefa?
Fefa knew her before I did.
Yeah.
So she was just being majadera?
Well, my aunt and everybody was there, my uncle, you know. So they didn't want me there.
They just didn't want you to be there.
Yeah.
That's funny. So then did you know Ida before you went in the Navy or after you went in?
Oh no, that was before.
Anyway.
Francis was already born.
Oh, when you went in the Navy?
She was 4 years old.
Oh, I thought it was...
The only thing that I acted like a fool, I went into the service before they called me.
Oh my goodness.
And I was there, and they were still fighting. I thought that the war was going to be over, and I didn't have no part of it. And then I was yelling to get the hell out of there.
But you were in a good situation. Didn't you tell me one time that you were the one that was the barber in the ship?
Well, yeah. You see, I was blessed. I jumped in the Navy on my own. In fact, they told me, you go home, you eat cornflakes, sodas and things in the night. You have to fatten up a little. And they sent me home, and I was so disappointed, you know, because I went where they were taking everybody. But it so happened that most of my friends were gone because they were of age, you know. From my barbershop, the guys that was there, home and there, they used to kind of live in the barbershop. I have plenty of room there, and we used to sing, we used to play music, all the musicians were my friends. We had like a club in there. And I just went in because most of them were gone. Many that volunteered and many were drafted, including my compadre, you know. He was pulled. He didn't want to go, but pulled him in.
Hard times to go into the service.
Yeah. So I was anxious to go in. I selected the Navy. I didn't want no army. I didn't want no army because of the fact that when the soldiers, they live in what you call holes in the ground and things like that, you know. Sometimes you have to stay there for weeks. And I thought of those things. He said, no, I'd be in a clean ship. But naturally, I just went in. I worked 1 whole year as a barber after I was already in the Navy. I was being assigned to the what they call the ship's company from the recruiting place where everybody used to go. So I was there for a whole, not for a whole year, I finished my year in there. Yeah, from the beginning until after. I kept on bothering the officers. I want to go on duty. I want to go on duty. Stupidity, you know. and they finally they put me in. I left everybody behind. I had to meet other people. And I was sent to Bainbridge, Maryland. Bainbridge is just before you get into Washington, you know, crossing Baltimore. And I used to come home many times during the week, but not only for hello and goodbye. But I had weekends off, yeah. Then I would go home, go to my mother, went to her, and to see Frances. She was a tiny little baby. And then when they put me aboard the ship, everything changed. But I was wanted for that particular ship because it was a new ship and then it had a barber. But then it had tools. Oh. No, I had my own tools, but I was not supposed to go anywhere because I was a recruit. That you have to have a certain time or a special pass to get out. So I didn't have tools. But I told to the officer in charge. He said, well, I got tools. What's wrong with my tools? I go home a lot. I was crazy to go home. You know, it took a couple of good weeks before they let me go home. In fact, I was in Liberty without dress blues. Dress blues is the ones with the things that they put in the Navy, I forgot. And I didn't have no eagle, no nothing. I was just plain seaman. Two stripes here. Oh no, one stripe. After I passed that, then they gave me two. But I had to take care of the barber shop, which I didn't have no barber shop. But I was there to make sure that everything was in order, and I was waiting for my tools. And being that they didn't bring the tools on time, I told them that I had tools. They sent me home to get my tools. I had to go back the same night, you know. Yeah. But I went home. That was a big break, you know. And then, I don't know, I got away with a lot of things. I was sent to the city to buy tools for the barber shop. Yeah. They trusted me. Somehow, from the beginning, they trusted me. I was 30 years old. I was no baby, you know. I think it was in November, and my last birthday had been 30 in April.
So were a lot of the other sailors younger?
They were kids, 15 years old. And as soon as they found out, they used to put them out.
Oh my goodness.
They were not supposed to be, stay in the service. No. So many of them used to cry at night. He was like a fool. They cry every night.
Oh, like a nursery?
Honest, kids 18, 17, like that. Everyone was younger than me. Everyone. And I used to play cards with them. I used to steal the money.
You made all kinds of money.
Yeah, we used to play rummy. And I used to take the cards, so I showed them to them, but I didn't keep it in a steady. I got this, I got that, I get that. I win. I got a nickel from the others that were playing. So sometimes I win $3 or $4 in the day or in the night. Yeah.
Well, wasn't you ashamed?
No, that's part of the game, you know. But one time I had milk, because I make money. I make little money, you know, by cutting here and there. And I used to buy milk, you know, containers of milk, cake, and put them away for the evening when we were hungry. And one night, they watched me where I put my milk and my cake. I used to put it outside of the door, the window. It was a new barracks. And there were not all the things that we needed. We didn't have a nice box or nothing. So I used to make a nice box out of the window, and they saw it, and then they ate. They ate everything that I had out there, even my milk. Boy, I wanted to fight inside of a bitch. But, you know, nobody cared. Nobody was to be blamed. Yeah. It was younger kids, you know. But I didn't buy anything. You want something, you buy your own. Yeah.
So would you cut everybody's hair on the ship, or just the officers?
No. While I was on boot camp, I was not supposed to cut hair. I cut hair when I went over the ship, and I was the main barber. I used to cut the officers, and I used to cut the men. But we were, at that time, we were taking a bunch of recruits. The haircut that we gave them, it was about 2 minutes or 2 minutes and a half.
Just cut it off?
Yeah, just out. And they say, hey, I want my sideburns. You want sideburns? Yep. So I used to put it in his put him on. You know, you take advantage of those things, because I already had been by looking and by seeing how bad they treat the new recruits. Yeah. And being that I was a barber, so you fool around with me. When I take you, I cut your head all of it. I cut your ears off it. And some of them, you know, kids, they thought that for sure I would cut it. Yeah. Yeah, I used to make then, I was given $50 extra every month. My ship was already constructed, but it was not, what you call that, they had to baptize the ship before we go out. And, but I was cutting hair. I had 2 chairs, and I used to go in there and cut the hair. After the big guy there, Commander Ross, that was him. He stole a cabinet, steel cabinet, with drawers and like, it was something like a desk. He stole one from the pier. You know, they all working in there, and there's a lot of things. All belongs to the Navy anyhow. So he said, Danny, I think going to see if I could get you a locker, because otherwise I haven't found a locker. I was pissing him because he wanted a locker. There was nothing there but 2 chairs. My gear was in the bag, in the same bag. So he got me a cabinet for my locker, and he got a plumber, no, the one that
Carpenter?
not a carpenter. He's the one that was making things fastened to the floor, to a welder, yeah. So he was a lady. He talked to her. He said, I want you to take this up, take it on deck, and when you have a chance, I want you to weld it in the barber shop for me. And 2 days later, she came in with all these things. They got it out over here. And they went in there, and she just welded them, make it nice and straight. Good. And then I had where I could hide my money. I had lots of quarters. Every time I cut a hair, I used to save my quarters. I couldn't spend it. One time I had $27 in quarters. And when I was already on the ship, I was already on my way out. And every time that they called for general quarters or any side of the enemy, we used to be called over general quarters. And I used to take my money with me. And I said to myself, I think I'm going to leave this money here because if I have to jump over the side because of one reason or another, I'm going to sink with all these quarters in my pocket. And then I got myself a bag and I put it in the bag and locked it. I had it locked, even though the commander gave it to me. A little lock like that, and 2 keys, and I had my key in my neck, and I used to put it, lock it, and close it. It was a tiny little lock, a lock that you put it in, and the thing that closes it turns around and open.
Oh.
It was something I never seen, the only one I seen in my life. It was something that you turn around, the whole hoop turns around and it opens. And I used to keep my money there. I carry when I was not on inspection or something like that, I used to put my lock over here. Because when there's inspection, nobody's going to steal anything. So I had it until, I don't know to whom I gave it to. I gave it to one of the kids, I don't remember which one. But I made plenty of quarters. The guys who didn't give me no tip, because we were charging 15 cents for a haircut. And
Everyone had to pay for their haircut.
and the officers, they were paying 25. They used to pay me, give me the money. Oh no, not money. They used to go to ship store and buy, they used to call it a barber sheet. A ticket. They don't call. The word ticket is not in the Navy vocabulary. They call it a cheat. Cheat. So they used to go and buy a cheat for a haircut. They pay and then they give it to me. They sit down and pay me that. That was my payment. I used to put them together. At the end of the day, I used to bring them over to the commander. And every quarter that was given to me, I already had where I could hide them. I put it in my bank. And I had $700
No.
in change.
No, Danny. Oh my goodness.
$700 in change.
Bárbaro.
You know what? I changed that in one island, a French island, by the name of Caledonia, New Caledonia. That was the name of that. It's right off, very close to, what's the island there, the big island. It could be a continent because it's big.
Australia.
Australia, yeah. We were very close to Australia, yeah. And we were already south of the equator. But we were not fighting. We were away from the fight. But we had to get ready because they were planning the invasion of the Philippines. Yeah. Anyway, I put all that money, I took all that money and went, when they gave me liberty, I carried all my money. I went to a place and I had to give $105 for a $100 bill, or bills, whatever on bills. Because, you know, what's the use to carry silver for silver? I was trying to be, you know, light. So that time, those damn Frenchmen in New Caledonia were a bunch of crooks. They used to ask me for 105, so they give me 100 in bills. But then they wanted a drink besides that. I had to buy them a drink because it was on a bar. And being that I was no drinker, if not, I had to spend all my money with a bunch of people in there. Because I didn't drink, so I was to take my money out in bills and I walk out. Hey, come here. And you're gonna pay for the drinks? I don't drink. Well, pay me a drink. I used to pay him a drink so that I could get out. Yeah, they were after my money after they had
Made money?
Yeah.
Well, why couldn't you go to a bank?
Bank? Are you kidding?
There was no bank there?
No bank. During the war like that.
Oh, there's no bank?
No, it was at the beginning of the killing. Yeah. I saved all my last quarters. And with that, I bought the barber shop.
Oh my goodness.
And besides that, I saved all the money was being paid to me. I left it right. I didn't take it. It was not much because I had my mother and I had her, and you know, out of my $21, that was all I was making at the first few months, because at that time that was the salary of a soldier, $21.
Wow.
So while I was working as a barber, they gave me $50 extra for barbering, because they used to get money out of me. And you know, I kept everything in the open up. I didn't fool around, because I used to hear a lot of tales of bullshit that one who steals something, they cut off your arm and throw your arm.
You could have actually like just taken 15 cents from the sailor, right? And
yeah. But I was not supposed to handle money.
yeah,
no.
right.
And there was a bosun mate. A bosun mate is one of the guys that works on deck, but some of them know more than the captain. Some real sailors, those real sailors. And this man was a tough guy, but he was a good man, very good man. He used to call everything was son of a bitch from there on down. And the first time he walked in, I want to get the barbershop. I want to got the haircut. I just went like that, give me a shit. The hell with the shit. Yo, give me a barber. Give me a haircut. No, Bosun, I'm afraid. The hell with it. I take care of it. I gave him the haircut. He didn't pay me. But on payday, I used to give him 2 haircuts a month. He gave me $2. Yeah, $2. $1 for each haircut.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And then he opened my eyes. Before I was afraid to do anything. So guys who came in with a cheat, get a haircut. And those who came out without a cheat, I used to get a quarter. Anyway, you know, on the side, I was supposed not even to look at money. Yeah. And when I came out, I had nearly $700 too.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, and I bought the barbershop with that money.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. So it's been good that you've been a barber.
Yeah.
You have a lot of opportunities.
Yep, yep. I didn't bother to carry a gun or nothing. I went through the training, but when the enemy was somewhere around, you know what I was doing? Passing the ammunition. Yeah, I used to be on deck, and right on deck is they call it torrent, but they got the guns. And the guys are working it up upstairs. It's 3 guys. I was down below. They gave me a signal, and I gave it to them. I couldn't hardly move the damn thing. That's heavy. And that's in packages like that.
Huh?
Yeah, all put in steel.
Wow.
Yeah, so I used to pass them to them.
Was there a lot of noise? Did it make a lot of noise?
Well, when they were shooting, yes,
Yeah.
especially those guns that try to sink the ships, the airplanes.
Yeah,
They're all those repeaters. Yeah.
that must be incredible.
And then they made it better for me. The chief doctor told me, he said, I don't want you there. I want you to go to sick bay. So the clinic, where they bring the guys that got hit or whoever they pick up on land and bring it to the ship, because we had a big ship. And I was supposed to be there ready to shave a person who has to be operated on.
I see.
So I didn't do nothing.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
I used to get out of my bunk at general quarters early in the morning, depending on the time the sun comes out. Before the sun comes out, you have to be on your duty. I used to play cards with those guys from the sick bay, and I was there doing nothing. Besides that, we had coffee there all the time. There was coffee and they had sandwiches. Oh, I had it good. I had it. I tell you, I was so very lucky.
Yeah, really.
I was really lucky.
That is amazing. So did they give you a pension for being a veteran, or you're considered a veteran, right?
Yes, but I was not. I was not hurt by.
Oh, it's only if you get hurt.
Cutting hair or anything like that. Nothing happened to you. And then especially because some of the kids got hit out on deck.
Really?
Yes, so many of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And because the Jack used to just suicides. They used to take a ship, an airplane, and bang it against the ships.
Did that ever happen to your ship?
My ship, they didn't bang it, but they tried. When they were there, everybody started shooting, and the bullets, they, what you call they ricochet, and it could kill you in there.
Oh my goodness.
And there were a couple of them, because the deck is full of machinery, and the guns are there, and there's boats. There's a lot of things because we had to carry boats that will go on land and go on water.
Wow. Oh no, it was huge.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to do it. No.
Getting there?
No, when the enemy was around, I was in sick bay. I do less. Just sit down there or go to sleep or anything, or play cards.
That was lucky.
Yeah, I was very, very lucky. But you know what happened? When we went through the equator, when you pass the equator, when you are a sailor, and you pass the equator the first time, they initiate you.
Uh-oh.
They do all kinds of mischiefs to you.
Uh-oh.
They could even cut your hair in the middle and then cross. They put you in a
coffin.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they have coffins for that. And the doctor, no, it's not the doctor, someone is dressed as a doctor. And I'm a patient, and they put me on the table, operating table, and I have to lay down there. Open your mouth. And you open your mouth, they used to put coffee grounds.
Oh, God, awful.
They do a lot of things.
Oh.
And that was one of the things they done to me, and believe me, they do worse.
Oh.
And they were after me because I was supposed to have clipped the hair off. Yeah. When they came through boot camp, I was not supposed to give beautiful haircuts. I was supposed to cut the hair, and that was it. And that's short. Yeah. And some of them were trying to get even with me. Yeah.
Yeah, so they shaved his hair off.
Boy. It was something that, you know, that day is a holiday. But the ones that had gone through the equator, they call them, I remember after, you know, shellback, and shellback is the one that had gone through the equator. Pollywogs is the others, yeah, the new ones. And then that I was new, they tried to do, you know, something to get even for what I done to them. And that evening, the next day is the big fiesta, you know. And that evening, I stayed on deck, but alone. I was reading, and I didn't want it to be seen by them, because they start fooling around with you before the fiesta the next day, like painting your face or cutting your hair, you know, the worst way, and many things. They make you eat dog food.
Oh, God.
We don't eat that day.
Oh, God.
No. The pollywogs don't eat that day.
Oh, my goodness.
While the officers, they're eating good food.
No.
Yeah. because that's a penalty for being. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I had to lay down on the operating table, and I had to go through a tunnel. They have a tunnel, you walk, and then you have to bend down and crawl into that tunnel. They make all that aboard the ship, you know, just for the fun of it. And actually, you have to go for legs. Poor me, they used to hit you with paddles. And before that, they put water on you. You was all wet.
Oh.
And then they hit you.
And it hurt.
Of course.
That's like a fraternity.
Yeah, that's something, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. The second lieutenant, who is a very big man aboard ship, the big guys, they almost kill him because he was a polywog.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he was a polywog. It was the first time he went through.
To the equator.
Because being that he was already you call I forgot, I can't talk anymore. So
Yeah, we've done a lot of talk.
that you was a new guy, you don't know, you didn't know anything. And they got him. He was a big man too, and he wrestled with them.
Oh.
And those guys holding him. And the next day, the the second lieutenant had that collar because they almost cut his head off.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
because you know those guys are rough.
Pretty rough, huh?
And he was a big man, so they had to get the biggest ones to hold him.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't touch that, you know. I didn't fool around with that.
You just did it, got it over with.
Yeah, then I hide. Yeah, I hide.
That's funny.
I got pictures of all that.
You got pictures of it? I didn't know that.
I got pictures of all that.
Oh, I'd love to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Even the captain is dressed like a pirate.
Oh, funny.
The poor doctor from the ship, he was dressed in dress blues. That was his penalty. Dress blues, watch cap that is heavy anyhow, and he's supposed to put that on and stand a guard under the sun during the stay on the equator. That's how hot. It's hot. And dress blues and the peacoat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh God, he fainted.
And some of them, those I used as boots. That also with the boots on.
Crazy.
It's all in fun.
Yeah.
All in fun.
Yeah.
But some of them get hurt. Like that guy. Boy. My captain was a short man, a little more than me. But he was a drunkard. He was always drunk. He used to drink and then he started up and that's the way I like to see my boys when they came out drunk, you know. That's the way I want to see my boys.
So did any of them ever quit? Did any of them ever?
No.
You never heard of any of them going AWOL?
Some of them will do things to be put away.
Kicked out?
Put out, yeah. And that's stupid because if you are kicked out, you will never get a diploma for good
Behavior, good behavior.
Yeah. You can't fool around that way, you know.
No, you never get a job.
No. Yeah, even that, or you deny that you was in the Navy or any kind of service.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun.
Sounds like it. So you were there 4 years or?
4.
4 long time.
One ashore and two and four, three aboard ship.
So you did, so then you, in those 3 years, you hardly saw your family, right? Would you go back
No.
to your family once a year? But they said
No, once I left the States, I didn't come back until after, yeah, once I got the ship, I was gone.
Wow. Wow.
I used to go on Liberty out in the islands, Hawaii, and all the islands in the,
In the Pacific.
yeah, in New Guinea. There's where you see the ladies with nothing on.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Walking around?
Yeah,
How funny.
yeah, because even those that comes around the ship selling things, you know, asking for things, they all ask. We're not supposed to even talk to them. But the first few ones, I gave them even blankets and things. Not in New Guinea. That I done in the Philippine Islands. Those people, you could tell that they were very poor,
Yeah.
and they are looking for little things. I used to give them cans, and I used to steal the blankets, and I used to throw them to them all the side. But then they stopped our life. We were not supposed to be talking with those people for the fact that they don't know who is who.
Yeah.
It could be an enemy. The Chinaman and the Filipinos and the Japanese and all those people look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they told us, as an order, you're not supposed to give them anything, and they're not supposed to touch the ship at all. You know what they used to do? They used to swim until they get near the boats.
Wow.
And then they threw bags over the heads, and they are under the water. And you think it's floating bags, and it's a bomb in there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. With a man. The man is going to die.
Oh my God.
That was the Japanese.
Weird.
That was right there in Philippines. Yeah.
Japanese are so weird. Huh?
Yes, yes. There. And they right away they stopped that. Nobody's supposed to come close to the ships. But the first couple of days, well, everybody was there. Yeah. Some of them were. They had nerve. They even climbed on the ship.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not
What were they
permitted.
doing when they caught them?
Oh, they didn't do anything. If they were natives, that's one thing. But if they were, that they could tell that they were the Japanese, the enemy, that would have been. They put them in jail. That way they will lock them up. Yeah.
Amazing.
We had even not Filipinos, Japanese, that they were half burned because they used to live in caves. And the Marines, they used to throw fire throwers.
Flamethrower.
They used to go in the caves and just smoke them out and kill them out. Right?